السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hey, okay. So for the third case, let's just dive deep into the third case now. In the third case, you know what? The third case is an exact opposite of case one, right? Exact. Okay, my bad. Sorry, I had to go somewhere. Yes, so I was writing the question. Oh no, my magnet pen just got stuck with the rim of the book. Never mind. I do have to make sure one thing before I start that my voice is being recorded. Yeah, it is being recorded. No, no. So this is exactly like case one, but opposite, right? This is literally the best way to explain the third case. It is just the reverse process for the first case. Okay. Now in how do you know that the question you're looking at is case 3? So in case 3, the mantissa and the exponent are given to you, and using those you have to find the binary for that, or the point, the floating point for that, right? So in the question that I'm looking at, this question is from October November 2015. I know this is way too old, but I mean, no problem, because I mean this is just how the questions are made since 2015. These questions have been the same, right? So you don't really have to worry about that in 2026. Giving a question from 2015, you don't really have to worry about that. The mantissa in this question is, and yep, the variant is actually 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3. It's just the same. So the mantissa for this is Bismillah, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. Okay, that's one thing. And then the exponent is 0, 6 zeros in here, 6 zeros, and then 2 ones. Okay, this is the exponent. I guess we should stay silent for the call for prayer. So the call to prayer has been called. Let's get back. Okay. And I'm sorry. I know I just stopped the recording 2 times. It's not going to happen again. I assure you that. Okay. So, Bismillah. In these kinds of questions, in case 3, what happens is that the mantissa and the exponent are given to you. What is the first step, right? So the first step is to find the exponent, right? To find the exponent. Now, remember one thing though. Yep, never mind. So, um, yeah, never mind. You know what? Give me a second. Can you give me another second? Yes. I just forgot about something. Okay, so I got confused about a thing on myself, right? So look, let's start it again. So the first step here is we have to find the exponent, okay? I mean, it's binary. Okay, this is what we have to find. So we know this entire thing. Obviously, I'm not going to be writing the zeros because that would just be wasting your time, right? Because the zero, you don't really have to add it up into the final answer, right? So this is 1, this is 2, and then, 4, 8, but we don't need these numbers, right? 1 or 2. So you know that the exponent is 3, right? Because 1 plus 2 is 3. So you know that the exponent is 3, right? How do you write the exponent? This is how you write it. 2 multiplied by the mantissa multiplied by 2 raised to the power 3. Okay? This is just a way of writing it, okay? And now let's write down the mantissa. Okay? This is the mantissa over here. Now look, let me tell you one thing. Notice if I started to write uh, you know, stuff I would start writing, if I was to start writing the powers of 2 for the Mantissa, I would begin writing it from the left side like this: 128, 64, 32, blah, 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 right? With the Mantissa, I didn't do, oh, sorry, with the exponent, I didn't do 1, 2, 4. I began writing from the right to the left, right? So this is a very important thing. You must remember it at all, the hiccups are coming in. So remember that left to right rule for the Mantissa and right to left rule for the exponent. I'm going to still write it again here, because I know this is aggravating and this is irritating for me to repeat the same thing over and over again. But if I don't, then you might forget, and if you do, then not going to be good for you. Mantissa left to right, okay, and then this right to left. Yep, right to left. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now look. So we have the exponent. Now this was the first step. The second step, you know, is to write down the mantissa. That would be 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, right? Now, where do you put the dot in here? Where do you put the dot? Over here, right? So in case 3, where you put the dot is actually, yep. So in case 3, where you put the dot is actually, right before the last bit. Going from right to left, you know, you have to put the dot right before the last bit, right? When I just, a few moments ago, I paused the video again. I did it just so that I can check where do you put the dot because I forgot, right? Myself. Yeah, I admit that. So now you know that the exponent is 3, right? It's a positive 3. The exponent is a positive 3. So you take it to the right side. Now let me tell you one thing. Had this been a negative 3, if the exponent was negative 3, in that case, the exponent would be, the point would go to the left side, right? Well, that's just basic indices from O levels, right? And if it's positive, which it is, then you have to go to the right side. Now, talking about the point, right? In this case, what do you do? This is what you do. So now look, this is what you have to do. Take this to the right side. 3 times. 1, 2, and 3, right? So you have yourself 0, 0, 1, 0, dot 1, 0, 0, 0, right? So now both of these both of these kind of lose their value, and now you can easily convert it back into what? This was the second step. Move. Rather, I should write place and move the um, decimal point, right? See, move place and move the decimal point. Now the third step would be to convert from binary to finally binary, right? So this is 1, 2, 4, 8. So you have a 2 here on the integer side. Over here you have 0 0.5, 0 0.25, 0 0.125, right? This is going to be 5. I mean a 0 0.5. This is your answer, a positive one though. This is your answer. It was literally this, right? Now, the reason I can do it easily is because obviously, I mean, I've done it before, right? For you, it might not be this easy. It might sound confusing. It might look confusing, especially with the kind of rating I've written it with. you know, my teachers have always condemned my rating, so you do have to kind of bear with me on that. But remember one thing. It might sound a bit confusing. It might look confusing. You might even not be able to identify the cases when you first look at questions, right? But it doesn't mean you should give up. It doesn't mean you still haven't understood it, right? It just means you need practice, right? And the moment you practice enough, you're just going to know it like the back of your hand, you know. Oh, sorry. That was it for today's lecture, right? And we're going to do the next case for this. Before I end the lecture, I think it would be better if I was to just go through the entire process once again. In the third case, the mantissa and the exponent are given to you, right? And you just have to find, the decimal from that. So the first thing you do is that you find the exponent from the binary of the exponent, right? Then you write down the second step is that you write down the mantissa, you place the point, the decimal point, right before the last bit, and then you move it depending upon what your exponent is. In my case, it was 3, a positive 3, so I moved it to 3 places to the right, right? And then we finally had our, this decimal, binary decimal thing, and then we easily converted it into binary. This is how you do it. It's just this simple. In the fourth case, case 4, right? In the fourth case, we're going to say a negative binary, a negative binary to a decimal number. Decimal number, okay? Sorry. This is what we are going to be doing. Now remember one thing, um the two's complement thing, just like we did in the second case, right? If the mantissa is positive, sorry, if it's negative, then all we have to do is just convert it into a negative using two's complement. This rule applies to the fourth case as well as the second case, right? But only in the third and the fourth cases, we don't take two's complement on our exponent. Remember that one thing. Please do remember that, right? It's just simple. Don't try to make it confusing for yourself. If your exponent is positive, you move the decimal point to the right side. Otherwise, if your exponent is negative, you just move it to the left side. It's just that much of a difference. It's nothing extremely difficult. It's nothing extremely new. This part, sorry. This part, this is just O levels maths, indices. I mean, you guys have all studied it, so there's no breaking a sweat in that, right? And inshallah ta'ala, in tomorrow's lecture, we're going to learn the fourth case. Oops. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This lecture is long enough though.